Hello, everyone. So I'm not sure who needs to hear this today, but they are asking you if you care about your reputation, inviting you to be ashamed of who you are because they are so ashamed of who they are. My name is Danielle, #𝇳𝋹�� at 𝑓𝑑𝑠 of damseldesigns.com, and this is a chat and channel session where my guides have presented me with a topic to discuss with you, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to be talking about shame. We're going to be talking about those who try to inflict shame upon us, and also about narcissists and toxic people and how they try to affect us as empaths. So, I have dealt with a lot of narcissists in my life and in my family. And one of the ways that narcissists try to manipulate you is they will try to provoke you. They will try to provoke a response or a reaction out of you by sabotaging, by attacking, by abusing, by neglecting, by messing things up for you or for things that you share. They will do something wrong, and then they will try to escape blame by blaming you for it or causing you to react or overreact and then make you look like you are the crazy one. It's called reactive abuse because narcissists want to feed off of the energy of that reactive abuse. They want to create an uproar in and around you so that they can distract themselves and hopefully you and others from the blame that should be upon them for their actions, for their energy, for their lack of compassion, consideration, or empathy. Okay? And people who are outside of the narcissistic spectrum, who are manipulative or toxic in other ways or have boundary issues in other ways, can do this as well. But it especially happens in the narcissist and empath communities because many people who have relationships with narcissists are in fact empaths, light workers, or highly sensitive people. Because of the polarity between empaths who care so much and generate so much light and energy, and the polarity of the narcissist who is sort of a energy sucker, an energy vampire, or a black hole to try to sustentate themselves by siphoning the energy off of others. These relationships often happen, and these abuses and this neglect often happens between narcissist and empath relationships. And these can be romantic relationships, but they don't have to be. They can also be multi-layered relationships, right? So this can be, again, someone that is in your family, someone who is a close friend, a coworker, a sibling, an aunt, another type of caretaker. Anyone can carry this energy and this way of being. But in my experience, the hardest to deal with and the most shameful is when it's a family member or a partner. Really anyone that we are trying to respect their opinion or their position in our life. When they try to inflict shame on us, when they are asking us to be conscious of what other people think, it's really a manipulation to try to show you that that's all they can think about. All they can think about and all they care about is what other people think, is the mask, is the persona. They don't know who they are, and they're afraid to find out. They're afraid to be who they are. And you stepping into power, you stepping into yourself, you being any authentic version of yourself, of your power, of who and what you are, what you care about, expressing it in any way, especially by having a reaction or a feeling about a way in which they have or are disrespecting you, is a threat to them. Because again, they are having this reaction. They are trying to project and inflict this shame on you because really, underneath it all, they are so ashamed. They are so confused about who they are. And they want to make you only think about and care about what other people think and could think from seeing the situation from the outside, because they are so against your process of trying to see it and heal it and fix it and address it from the inside. They know that you having a reaction or expressing your feelings to them or expressing yourself in any way is a threat, is something that they cannot and maybe can never do because they aren't willing to, because they're afraid to. They'll never admit that because fear is the enemy, right? That they're not afraid of anything, right? They can stand up to anything. They can do anything because they just never want to have a true feeling. And when they have a feeling, they need to shut it down as quickly as possible. They certainly don't want you pointing it out to them. They want to be validated in every small thought and feeling that they could have and then move on with it as quickly as possible because they want other people to do that for them. They don't want to do anything for themselves. They just want to constantly do whatever will keep them getting built up from the outside. And you as the empath, as the highly sensitive person, as the light worker, whatever you are, as the person who is addressing it and fearlessly addressing it from the inside, expressing it from the inside, and learning to live from the inside out, you are a threat to them. You are the opposite of everything they hold dear, of their survival mechanisms. They have learned to survive by living from the outside in, and you are here to remember and remind others that living from the inside out is what is important. And so when I don't want to say make you, because you have the control and the power and authority over yourself, but when they provoke you to yell or have a reaction, especially if that's in public, and then ask you or try to incite you, aren't you ashamed? Other people are going to see, other people are going to hear. What are they going to think of you? Notice they'll never say, what are they going to think of us? What are they going to think of me? They'll only say, what are they going to think of me? Because you are a reflection of them. That's all you are in their eyes. You are a reflection of them. You are a control mechanism for and of them. You are there to build them up. They care about what others are going to think of them, but not what they're going to think about them as a person, as a reason for doing the abuse. Just what others are going to think about the persona that they've created. They want to keep reminding you of what others think because they want to take your mind off of what you think, off of what you feel, off of what you are thinking and feeling now about them, and off of the truth that you are uncovering about them, about the situation, and about yourself. They are here to try to break you down to be as broken as they are. But what ends up happening, especially if you're here, is that they break you down to uncover the parts of you that have allowed this relationship, have allowed this neglect, have allowed this abuse, have believed that you have to stick with it, or have believed that you have to put up with it, or that you can't fight back for yourself, or that you can't build anything for yourself outside of the guise of this relationship. They are here to help you. That being said, as soon as you realize that, you no longer have to have them in your life, at least not in this way. I know not everyone can completely rid themselves and go no contact, as is so widely emphasized within the narcissist community. If you can go no contact, bravo, I'm really proud of you. If going no contact or separating from them is a process for you, or if you have to keep them in your lives at a distance because they are family, because maybe they're a partner that you share kids with, any reason, okay, the reasons are your own. Everything's okay. You do you. But if you have to keep them in your life for any reason, as soon as you realize that you have the right and the power to distance yourself, even if that's just energetically or emotionally at first. That is a powerful thing you can do. You can stop giving them the power. And most importantly, the purpose of this right now is so that you stop giving into their invites to shame. I want you to look at it as an invite to uncover and clear all the shame within you, all the shame that they have incited, and all the shame that they have built upon, that others and culture have incited upon you. You have nothing to be ashamed about, even if you flip out, even if you flip out in public, even if you have a big reaction. I know the purpose of mindfulness and so much of what we do in the spiritual community is to be non-reactive eventually, but you are human. You are allowed to have your moments of reaction as long as you are learning from it and eventually getting into the place where those moments are fewer and farther in between, and where you know that they don't control you anymore, that those moments don't define you, and that you learn from those moments and for yourself every time those things happen, so that you don't have to have such a reaction or put yourself in such a position again. And I know that we can't always take ourselves out of or blame ourselves to be responsible for being in certain situations, because I don't want to victim blame and I don't want to shame. I don't want to tell you that, oh, well, why didn't you just get out of the situation sooner? That's not the purpose of this. And if you can't physically get out of a situation yet until it's safe, until you have the means, until you have a safer place to be, go, or get to, or a support system, I want you to know that you don't have to wait until that point to emotionally heal, emotionally distance from these people, from this abuse, from this way of being. I want you to recognize that no matter where you are, okay, even people that have been held captive against their will, against their control, have been able to tap into the ability to sit within themselves, to sit within their inner world, heal, and remove consent and control from the other, from the abuser, from the neglector, from the manipulator. You have the power to do that no matter what your physical actions can do today. I want you to know that your spiritual and emotional and mental actions can make a huge impact and difference. And those actions and those changes, just those simple mindset changes, not that they'll always be simple, but making those changes can invite the energy into your life to have the means to make other physical changes as well. And what I want you to go away from after listening to this is I want you to remember how powerful you are, that you have nothing to be ashamed of. I want you to be able to think of this and laugh every time those people try to say, aren't you embarrassed? Don't you care about what other people think? Maybe a lot of points in your life you did care about what other people think. But what I want you to think about and care about is not what other people think. I want you to care about who you are. And if who you are is someone who has a reaction to being abused, manipulated, or neglected, aren't you proud of that? Aren't you proud that you have a reaction rather than just take it? And now that you can be proud of that, can you move to the next step to say, well, now how can I get myself out of the position to where I have to take it because I've still allowed them to be in my life? I've come to the place where I don't care about what people think about me. I care about what I think about me. And that pissed off the narcissists in my life more than anything else. I really don't care about what people think about me. I especially don't care what people think of me from the people that do not care about me in other capacities or ways of my life. If you only care about me because of who you think I am or who you want me to be, I don't have to care about your opinion. You don't have to care about anybody's opinion. But I especially don't care what the people think who only care about the idea of me or the definition of me that they want me to be. I care about who I am. And I am proud that who I am can be in that place. Do I sometimes worry about people's opinions if I post or create something or show up in a new way? Maybe, but I've increasingly found that what I care about is if I like it, if I'm seeing something there that I'm not the most proud of, or I know I could have done better on, and self-critical and self-critique, that's another wound and another healing to address at another time. But I see it as a huge step forward for myself in how I was trained and how I was manipulated to only care about the outside and the appearance of things and what people think. Do I want people to like it? Sure. But mostly I want people to be inspired, to see how what I present can maybe help them or encourage them to be a happier, more authentic, or healthier version of themselves. I mean, that's mostly how I show up in the world. That's mostly what I create and share with the world. And I really think that being authentic and being proud of who we are and what we're doing is the best way to do that. So yeah, I hope people like it. I hope people like me, but if they don't, I'm really happy to not have those people in my life. And to say goodbye to them with love, or to say, okay, great, you're entitled to your opinion. That doesn't mean you have to accept their attack or their criticism of you, especially if it's uninvited. You can look at their perspective, see if you want to care about their opinion. Maybe they point something out that can be helpful from an outside perspective. But that should never take priority off of your internal perspective, who you are and who you want to be. Remember that those people are living from the outside in. And you're here to live and create from the inside out. That's the energy that creates worlds. And you have the power to do that. I'm so proud and happy and thankful that you're here, that you've listened to this, that you've accepted the invitation to the information and to perhaps another layer and level of your own healing or way that you show up in the world. I hope that you share this with someone that you think could find it helpful. And if you'd like to, and you're called to work with me further, you can check out my website, 𝇳𝓹�㓴.com, DAMCL designs.com, where I have my spiritual sessions and offerings, an Empaths and Energy MasterClass that I'm very proud of, which we go into more of this type of energy art and activations, as well as enlightened merch. If you'd like to go even further than that, you can contact me for a discovery call to see if we're a good fit for quantum energy healing packages or life and consciousness coaching packages and sessions. And with that, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. If you'd like to support my works and my public works, you can also do so by making an energy exchange or donation through paypal.me/𝑑enlightenededits. All of these things will be linked somewhere, either in the bio or description or caption. And I will see you next time. Be blessed with love, light, and light codes. Love, Danielle. #Damsel at 𝑑enlightenededits. 𝇳𝓹𓓴.com.